We were all there when Joey lost his mind. He was just sitting in his cubicle, chatting with Rebecca. The whole company had a pool going on when they would finally admit they were dating. I had $50 on it being before the day was over, so I was starting to sweat. He leaned over, noticed me staring at him, and winked one gorgeous blue eye at me. My heart fluttered. And then he screamed. Everybody jumped. Joey kept right on screaming as he toppled off of his chair and fell onto the floor. His screaming was unintelligible, unfocused gibberish. He got on all fours and started crawling on the floor. He looked up at me, and finally got some lucid words out of his mouth. Help me. I don't know where I am. Two of the burlier guys from the office grabbed him by the arms and put him in a chair. Rebecca was calling an ambulance. It didn't take a genius to tell he was having some kind of nervous breakdown. A group was crowding around him. Disregarding someone's call to give him some air, I joined them. "What's wrong, Joey?" someone shouted. "What's gotten into you?" He just wildly stared at all of us, seemingly not recognizing anyone. Who are you people? Where am I?" "Relax, Joey. You're with friends. What's the last thing you remember?" The question seemed to knock him out of his daze. He was staring at his hands like he couldn't recognize them, like they were someone else's. I think I was in Mr. Ryberg's class, and his class was so boring. I was so tired, but I couldn't go to sleep because I was scared. But I did. I did. His face went slack like he had remembered something important. "When is it? What date? What month? When is it? Relax. The paramedics. They'll be here. When is it?" I flinched. Joey was screaming like a mad beast. "September 10th, 2019, Joey. You've worked here for 4 years. His face went white. He began to mumble. No. How did he get so strong? What happened?" Tears began to stream down his cheeks. I followed them up to his eyes. They were brown. Dark brown. I was gently pushed aside by the paramedics. Rebecca had fainted, so I volunteered to accompany Joey to the hospital. As he was pushed, he kept raving like a man possessed. Something was decidedly off about him, apart from all the kicking and screaming. He kept on mumbling as they took him into the elevator. I can't sleep. He's coming. He's in the dark places. I can't sleep. He suddenly grabbed up my arm. "Don't let them put me to sleep, please. It comes from me when I sleep, but it doesn't let go." He put my hand on his head. It's still here. It never leaves." I looked into his eyes, his deep, unnatural brown eyes. They were wet with tears. "Don't let it take me." We arrived at the ambulance. He was thrashing again, so they strapped him into the gurney. One of the paramedics pulled out a needle, a sedative. I rushed out and said, Sir, Joey was really insistent that he not be put to sleep." The paramedic gave out the long-suffering sigh of the man who's constantly told how to do his job. "Lady, this man is in danger to himself and others. Procedure calls for us to knock him out." But the paramedic just sighed and stuck it in him anyway. "If you're going to be trouble, we're going to need someone else for the companion." I stopped talking. Joey kicked for a few moments longer, then passed out peacefully with a smile on his face. He woke up a few hours later in the hospital. He looked at me and grinned in that way I had always found so bewilling. "Thanks for bringing me here, Sarah," he said. "I hope I didn't say anything too crazy on the way here." I didn't answer. I just stared at him. His eyes were blue. Bright blue.